everybody, my name is Angie. I'm with Explore Ecology, and I'm going to be doing a demo today on how to check to see what kind of soil you have in your garden or in your backyard. And for our test today, you will need a jar. It can be any size, a shovel or something to dig with, and access to water. So if you have a hose or maybe a glass of water that you can use, those will be the things that we'll be doing for our exercise today. And for finding the soil, if you have a garden, you can find any spot where there's not a lot of mulch or grass to dig a small hole to fill your container with. If you're at home, make sure you're not digging where your lawn is or where any plants are. Maybe find a spot where there's just dirt. In the valley, I know we have a lot of gophers, so if you can find a gopher hole, that's a good spot to dig to get the soil for your sample. And what we'll be doing is using our shovel to dig just down a little ways to get enough soil so I can fill my jar about halfway. So whatever size jar you have, you just want enough dirt to fill it up halfway. So I'm going to take a couple handfuls. If I see any big wood chips or big rocks, I can leave those out. And I'll just fill it up with dirt. If you find any worms or bugs, you can leave them out too. They probably won't like hanging out in your soil test today. All right, so I have it filled about halfway. And then I'm going to take my hose and fill the rest up with water. So I'm going to fill it up almost to the top, just like that. And then put my lid on and make sure it's screwed on really tight. And then I'm going to shake it for about 10 seconds. And while I do that, I'm going to turn off the hose. Alright, and once you've shaken it up really good, you're going to find a flat surface to sit it on. And you want to let it sit for between half an hour to an entire day. So 30 minutes, most of the stuff will settle, but if you can leave it for 24 hours and come back to it, you'll have some really nice layers to see what kind of soil you have. So we'll go set it down and take a look.
Go for it.
All right, so once you have given it a good shake for about 10 seconds, you want to set it on a flat surface so all those different layers of soil can settle. And you can sit there and watch it, or you can just let it be. Like I said, you can wait just 30 minutes and see what settles in half an hour, or you can do it for a full 24 hours. So you can see here, this is another sample that we let sit for about half an hour, and already we're starting to notice the different levels that have settled. So the sand is going to be the heavier particles and the larger particles, and they're going to drop to the bottom first. So we can see we have a nice layer of sand here. And then the next layer is going to be silt. And silt is smaller than sand and a little bit lighter. So it's going to be this darker level right here. And you can see there's almost an equal amount of sand and silt. There's kind of a bit of a line right here where it divides. You can also see these cool vertical lines going up, and that's where all the oxygen bubbles were bubbling up from the bottom from these little pockets of air that got trapped. And then at the very top, there's a really thin, very light layer of clay. And as this continues to settle, the water will actually turn clear if you wait 24 hours. And all of this sediment that you see floating around in here will settle as clay. That is the smallest particle. And then at the very top, we'll have some little organic matter pieces like dead leaves and sticks. But you can tell that this soil type is mostly sand, sand and silt with a tiny bit of clay. So that means that it's going to drain water very quickly, like we talked about, because of that sandy silt. And that layer of clay is not going to matter too much, but that's where all those nutrients are going to be locked in. So if you have a thick layer of clay, that means that you might have a more nutrient-packed soil.